atrocity has been found taking place in the kitchen. A legion of slaves has been enslaved by Mom. Now we'll pass you over to Bert, who's live on the scene today. Thank you, Herbert. Yes, it's quite heartbreaking being here at the scene of the crime. As you can see, it is devoid of life. Everybody is really in shock of what atrocities have happened here. And the worst thing is, nobody knows what really happened until now. Our daring cameraman managed to film some of the horrifying footage.
As you can see, gallant, brave and horribly mistreated slaves are forced to lift back-breaking heavy plates out of the dishwasher into a vast, malicious, deviously large, complicated array of cupboards and drawers. It is inevitable that sometimes the slaves might get something wrong in the years they are forced to toil. However, if they do, an unthinking, cruel mother will punish them dearly.
Back to the studio. Thank you, Bert. Now, after this shocking video, we have some equally shocking statistics for you. One plate weighs more than 600 grams. The devilish sorting device has a size of over 10 meters cubed. Up next, we have an interview with an ex-slave. What are your feelings about this felony? Well, I must say, it's a felony and, it's not right. Yes, well, how long have you been a slave? I've told ceaselessly for about 11 years. Do you have any words of encouragement for the remaining slaves? Hang on in there. Justice will prevail. How did you feel when you were freed? A great sense of, freedom. I see. Have you suffered any physical or mental damages due to your eternal toil? Well, I've suffered from acute mental trauma. That's very sad. Thank you, slave. Back to the studio. Thank you, Bert. Up next, we have a story about a child prodigy who's taking the art world by storm. Creates innovative, thought-provoking Lego dioramas. Bert is live on the scene today. Thank you, Herbert. When I first saw this child prodigy's art exhibition, I knew he had to make a story about it. His pieces are creative, original and complex. You can clearly see in his pieces that he has delved into his innermost emotions when creating them. Up next, Child Prodigy will show you his best and favourite creations. My first creation is called The Complexion of the Mind and Spirit when faced with the impossibility of death.
As you can see, it is a round stud on a 2x1 flat piece. It raises questions in your mind as well. For example, why did I use a round stud, not a square stud?
The next piece I will show you is called The Dawn of Realization when an embryo is faced with the knowledge of life.
At first sight, you will only see a head on a 3x2 flat piece with one stud holder on it. However, as you look closely, you can clearly see that the head is the emblem of life. Each stud on the flat piece resembles a choice, and the stud holder represents a barrier. But there is a way through every barrier, hence the whole.
The final piece I will show you is called The Inescapable Wonder at the Prospect of Becoming a Ruler.
An idiot would glance at this piece, think that all that matters is what the piece is, and not try to find what inner meaning lies within, and leave the exhibition feeling cheated. However, if one sees what the top piece represents, in this case power, and what the bottom cylinder represents, in this case infidels, one will leave the exhibition feeling enriched and in awe of me.
So in my final plea, don't take my pieces for what they are, but for what they mean. Thanks, Child Prodigy, for showing us your favourite pieces of art. If you want to see more of the Child Prodigy's works of art, go to the Tate Modern's art exhibition in the Meanings. back to the studio. Thanks, Bert, for that Dog Friday Night Show. Up next, we have an exclusive interview with the child prodigy. Over to you, Bert. Thank you, Herbert. I'm here today with the child prodigy. Hello. For my first question, I'd like to ask you, how do you find inspiration for your creations? I look at my soul and find what lies in there and try to form it with Lego. Sometimes, however, I just put random pieces of Lego together and give it a long name. So that leads me on to my next question. How do you find the names for your pieces? I try to find the inner meanings of my creations and sculpt it with words. If that doesn't work, I just pick a bunch of long words from the dictionary. Inner emotions seem to feature a lot in your work. How do you find yours? I meditate, but if I can't be bothered, I'll just use a mood ring. I see. For my last question, I'd like to ask you, how long does it take you to create a creation? About 2 minutes. Thanks, child prodigy. Back to the studio. Thanks, Bert, for that enlightening interview. Thanks for watching Num News. Good night.